What is up, beautiful people of YouTube? I am Ramy B, and I am back with another remote video from SofaBaton. So, the wonderful people at SofaBaton sent me another one of the remotes. This is the SofaBaton U1, but this one is a prototype. It is currently not out. It is currently not for sale. This is one of their first mock versions that they've released and given to specific individuals to kind of try out and give them feedback. So in this video, I'm going to go over this specific remote, things I like about it, things I dislike, and once the actual version comes out, the modified version comes out for mass production, I will be releasing a new video with how to set it up, the actual unboxing, and just the features that I like about it, because honestly I've been using this for a couple of weeks and I think it is a phenomenal remote. So before I get started, make sure you click the subscribe button down below and stay tuned for future SofaBaton remote videos. So the remote comes in a very, very nice and sleek box, very thin. Reminds me kind of like an Apple box, and when you open it, the only thing that is in there is just a card that tells you which app to download in order to set up the remote. The batteries and the remote itself, this is just the battery wrapper. Very simple, not much in here, but the bread and butter of this entire product is the actual remote. So this remote, as you can see, is very sleek. It has a screen up here. The one thing that I really like about this remote is that it's not an attachment that goes into your Fire TV stick like the past ones that I've done, where you literally slide it in and it's an extension. This is the actual remote. So this remote in here has an infrared sensor, so it hooks up to your traditional devices like TV, sound bars, cable boxes, things like that, but it is also Bluetooth, and it can hook up to your Amazon Fire directly or other Bluetooth devices as well. As you can see on mine, I currently have it set up with my Amazon Fire TV, my soundbar, and my Samsung TV. There is a scroll button that is in the top of the remote where you can scroll through your different devices to select which one that you want to control. Now, similarly to the other SofaBaton remotes, you actually have to use the old remote, line it up again, and then press the button and sync it, so you get to select which buttons go where. Now, this specific remote uses an app which gives you all the controls on how to do. Currently, the app is still very, very simple, and the instructions aren't very clear. It's not really user-friendly, but being kind of the tech guy that I am, I was able to navigate it with a little bit of trouble and get it all set up. So on the app itself, you get to click the plus button on the top, and then you get to select if you're hooking up a TV, soundbar, other devices. And then essentially what you do is you take this remote right here, and then you aim it towards the device, and when you press start on the app, it'll scan through and actually connect it automatically. And then once it does so, then you can select which buttons go for what. And to do so, you actually, in the past SofaBaton, you would click the button on here and then click the button on the other one. But in this one, actually, you would click the button on the actual app, it selects the button, and then you would do that same process. So overall, I think it's easier than using the old SofaBaton device, because the old one you had to click and hold, click and hold. But on this one, using the app, it's a lot easier, and it already knows what it's trying to connect to, if that makes sense. Now for myself, after using it, I had to alter it a little bit because the remote at the top has a TV power button specifically, so no matter what device that the remote is selected on, the TV will turn on with that button. Then there's a separate power button, as you can see. My TV is a Samsung TV and my soundbar is a Samsung soundbar, so when my TV turns on, it automatically turns on my soundbar. So that is a benefit of mine that I actually enjoy, not having to swipe through the different devices on the remote itself. Now, one thing I did for convenience was trying to figure out how to make the remote as easy as possible to use. So what I had to do was, under the Fire TV option on the remote, the Fire TV already presets a bunch of buttons. So the home button, back button, the different arrows and things like that. So you don't actually have to set up the Fire TV. It's already like pre-installed in here. But some of the buttons aren't used and you can use them with other devices. So under the Fire TV, I actually set up my soundbar buttons with the Fire TV button. So in that case, I didn't have to swipe over to soundbar in order to change the volume and then switch back. I can keep it on the Fire TV option and use the volume as necessary. And like I said, the power TV button will turn on and turn off the TV automatically. So for me, I don't actually have to swipe out of the devices. The only time that I'll actually go into the Samsung TV option is if I want to change the inputs on my TV, for example, to like play my PlayStation or something like that. And with my soundbar, I never really have to switch to it because I set the volume buttons under the Fire TV option. I also set the mute button and then the option to turn it to surround sound. So overall, I think the ease of use is is pretty good. You have to actually play around with it and kind of configure it the way you want, what works best for you. Some people would like switching to the soundbar function to change the volume and switching back. I didn't like that. I wanted to make it as simple as possible, so that's what I did. Now, one thing that confused me at first is, how does this remote turn off? So the screen, as you can see, literally is on. And what I noticed is once the remote is set down for I think maybe 10-15 seconds, the screen actually turns off. The way you turn it back on is literally if you pick it up, it automatically turns on, or if something shakes, for example. So once you put the remote down, it turns off. That was one of the biggest worries of mine, is the battery's gonna drain if the screen is always on, but after using it, I realized it turns off on its own. I wish there was some instructions either in the app or in the actual box that told you if you left the remote it would turn off. I think one thing that they are going to improve on in the final product that will be released hopefully within the next month or so is better instructions, or maybe a booklet in the box that tells you how to use it, and like I said, more improved instructions on the apps. But overall, I think this is a great device. I've been using it. I love that everything is incorporated into one thing. I don't have to attach my Fire TV. It didn't take that long to get used to, because remotes are not that hard to kind of get used to the layout. A lot of it is very similar to the Fire. There's the home button, the menu button, the back arrow. That's literally all you need on your Amazon Fire. So it's all there ready to go, and obviously the play, pause, fast forward, and things like that. So I love this device. I actually cannot wait until they complete the final version and put it out for mass production and I actually get it. Once I do get that one, like I said earlier, I will do a full unboxing and a full setup on how to actually set it up, and hopefully by then the app will be updated and will be much clearer and have better instructions for you to use when you are trying to set it up. So overall, I give this remote right now a 7 out of 10. The reason I don't give it any higher is because of the difficulties with setting up and issues that I had trying to set it up. Like, once again, I said the app needs to have some more clearer instructions and maybe some visuals to make it easier for people to use. But overall, the remote itself, if we're talking like the physical remote, I haven't had any issues with it. It's great. It works perfectly great, honestly. The only thing that kind of gets a little bit confusing is when you hook it up to the app, you have to hook it up through Bluetooth to your phone, and then once you hook it up to your Fire, it disconnects. So that's if you're annoyed by setting it up back and forth, but typically it just auto connects to the Fire. Once you turn on the Fire, well, actually once you lift the remote, it's connected to the Fire. Every time you turn on your Fire TV, you will see it says connected to the SofaBaton remote. So yeah, I think this is a great device. I haven't had any issues with the remote itself. It's been great. The range has been great. It's worked with all my devices. So definitely no issues with that. But like I said, the final product should be coming out hopefully soon, and when it does, you'll get a more extensive video on that. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video to show you this new device, the SofaBaton U1, and what to expect in the future from them. Hopefully when it does come out, I will have a price point for you and Amazon links in the description, but currently I do not. If you do want to check out some of their other products, I will link my past SofaBaton video below, so you can click on it and go to it and see what that one looked like. That was for the SofaBaton F1. But yeah, thank you for tuning into this video. Hopefully you guys will like this device when it comes out, because I think it's absolutely amazing. But until next time, thank you very much. I am Ramy B. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. But for now, I gotta go. I'm out.